This is Bill with the Outdoors Missouri, and today I wanted to talk about a subject that we've been talking about on Facebook in one of the groups that I'm part of. But I want to start off by saying these are my favorite broadheads to use hunting, and they're pretty much universal. I mean, everybody knows what they are. They're really good. Nobody really argues that they work, right? So my question was, could you buy a knockoff, and what would be the difference? So I found some, and I've seen them on eBay plenty of times, but I've never bought them. And this is what they look like. So what are the differences? That was my initial question. And immediately I noticed that if you look, this part right here is a little bit fatter, right? This is perfect. This is perfectly the same size as my arrow, right? Now they've used a little rubber band instead of this material here. They both open up very easily, so I'm just going to work these bands off so that they open up. Okay, so they both open very easily. Okay, and so there's definitely a size difference. This is probably, the swhacker's probably 2 inch, this is 1.75 inch. But the geometry is all pretty much the same. The concept is exactly the same. So what I want to do today is I want to shoot these broadheads and compare them accuracy wise and sound wise, and a couple of little things that I noticed just having them here is, if you notice, the swhacker, no more noise than a field point. Well, maybe a little bit, okay, but it's negligible. Okay, so the reason I shoot a swhacker is because it's just like shooting a field point, as close as you can get as far as I know. This is the practice arrow that they send with the swhackers. So I will also be shooting this to see if it holds up accuracy wise to the swhacker. So I'm going to leave the camera here. I'm going to shoot a total of 4 different arrows. So let me kind of introduce what I'm shooting here. This is what the arrows we're going to be shooting. Okay. Now, I shoot these every day. So, I know where these are going to impact, and that's what my scope's set for. We're going to be shooting the VAP TKOs, the 1000ths. So they're pretty straight. And they're all fletched exactly the same, spinal lined, all that good noise. So they're very close to exactly the same. Now we're going to be flinging them out of my bow. This is my CP28. It is 28.5 inch draw. It's set down to 55 pounds. Feet per second is going to be around, I believe it's like 271 or 268, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the first arrow, well, we're just going to shoot, and I'll pick you guys back up on the GoPro. We're out here at exactly 20 yards. And let's just see if we can pick up our target here. Now for this one, I'm going to shoot at the top left corner. Okay, so we're in the circle. That's good. Okay, we're going to shoot our practice tip. We're going to just do the next circle over, one circle to the right. Okay. Next, we're going to shoot our actual swhacker, the actual broadhead. Okay. We're just going to go along down the line. Okay, so next one be the left hand center X. Whoa. Okay. Let's take a look at this. What the heck happened there? Okay, so let's take a look here. This is the field point. Okay. This is the test. I'm assuming that opened because the rubber band's gone. And this thing made an awful noise flying through the air. I don't know if you guys could pick that up, if we could hear that or not. It looks like it opened up too. But it just made a terrifying noise just through the air. So that's a demerit there, but it also hit right here. I was aiming here. Maybe, I mean, we could argue maybe I pulled it. I don't know. I don't think so. It felt good. So I guess let's go ahead and, but the conclusion here is the field point, the test, the actual, they all hit about where they needed to. This one was way off. So let's take a closer look at it and see what's going on. Okay, so I've rebanded and I've swapped the arrows. So I put this arrow was on this broadhead. I just swapped them just to make sure. I spun them on the arrow spinner. Everything's fine. They weigh out within a couple grains of each other. Not a huge amount of differences between them. But I put a new rubber band on each one. So we're just going to go through the shot sequence again. I'm going to do it without the GoPro this time. Just in case that may have been a factor. I don't know. Okay guys, so here's something I just can't explain. Now if I'd been aiming at that center, that'd been a pretty good shot. I'd take it. Problem is, I was aiming here on this last arrow. So let's pull and see what we got. I don't know if you guys can hear the difference, but there's definitely a difference. Okay. There's our field point. This one hit hard. There's our practice point. There's our supreme point there, our lethal point. Oof, that's ugly. And I know it opened. You can tell. And the one that we missed twice in a row. I mean, this thing opened too. I mean, it's not all bent up or, you know, but it freaking missed. So we're aiming here, we're hitting here. What's going on? I honestly don't know. I realized that I wanted these cheap broadheads to work better, more than anybody. I'm very not confident in these cheap knockoff broadheads, but not for the reasons you'd think. They seem to be made well. They seem to be functional. For whatever reason, they're pulling to the right really hard. At 20 yards, I mean, that's a lot. A lot of people were saying that it was unethical to hunt with something like this because they're cheap. And to me, what's more unethical is not testing it first, not seeing if it's going to work with your setup. So they weigh the same. They're a little bit shorter. The blades are a little different. They're within 2 grains of each other. They're within the difference of the field point. So I know my bow's tuned. It's not that. What do you guys think? Would you run these broadheads, these cheap knockoff broadheads, if they spun out right, if everything worked out right, but they shot a little bit to one side or the other? And it was very consistent. In fact, both times it hit this instead of this. So something's going on with the way that it is. These absolutely will kill a deer, but I probably wouldn't shoot at a deer with these that was more than 15 yards away. I mean, if we're being honest, broadhead, this right here could kill a deer if you put it right in the pump house. It absolutely could. This could kill a deer if you hit it in the heart. But it's unethical, right? So we want to do a lot of damage, as much damage as we can in those soft areas where the heart and lungs are. That's the winner. All right, folks, well, let me know. Is it unethical to shoot deer with a cheap mechanical broadhead? Or is it unethical to not test your broadheads for flight? A friend of mine told me when I first started bow hunting to get them, and that's all I run. I don't. I run some fixed blades, but for turkey and stuff. But for deer, that's it. Just the swhacker. So tell me what you guys think. It is a rainy, dark day in August. I think it's the 5th. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, so we're going to try to hit the cantaloupe. I'm just going to aim center mass as best I can and see what happens. We're going to be using the swhacker broadhead. Ooh, it punched right through that. Smells good. Oh man. Yep, it did it. It did the job. Not as impressive as I was thinking, but it did get a bunch of squirt out. That's where it went in. That's where it came out, right there. It looks like it was open when it came out. Is this good enough to kill a deer? I'd say so.